round of 16 of the state tournament is where my journey ends for my freshman year of high school soccer. To say it was an experience is truly an understatement.
Yeah. How you feel about the charter bus?
It's nice.
That's just beautiful. Look at it.
We made a deep connection with these group of guys, but now that the season's over, I can recap over the season and talk about what I learned so far about high school sports. Number 1, decision making. Now, decision making for me was really emphasized because I played center back, so I'm the last line of defense, so making mistakes was literally not an option for me, or I leave my keeper one-on-one in a really dangerous position, and I'm one of the captains. The other captain beside me is a center back and a left back, so he goes through the exact same thing as me. Decision making is really vital for any player on the pitch, especially one in a defensive position where any wrong mistake or anything like that, you lose the ball and your keeper's one-on-one, and most of the time, even if your keeper's one of the greatest in the world, he's not going to save a one-on-one. Number 2, playing time. I feel like the biggest thing about playing time really starts in tryouts, because your first impression with the coaches means so much. It truly means so much. What I think my coach's first impression of me was, first day of tryouts, is I was a tall, thin player. I was aggressive, I was loud, I was always talking. I would always try to use my body. I was good with the ball at my feet. I had a bunch of traits for a good center back, which is the position I wanted to play. And if you care about what position you play, then I feel like having the qualities for the position you play matters a lot if you want to play there. So here are some of the things I did on my first day of tryouts to make a great impression for my coaches and get them to notice me. So for one, the coaches have to know who you are, and if you're a freshman coming out of middle school, obviously the high school coaches aren't going to know who you are. So for one, you have to get to know the coaches, and I feel like the best way to do that is to just go up and speak to them. Get to know them, tell them your name, ask how their off season is, how their summer training has been, how their summer has been, stuff like that. But just speak to the coaches. Don't make it too long. Speak to them, speak to the teammates, of course. They have to know that, like, you're not nervous necessarily. Even if you are really nervous, you won't come off as nervous if you're just there talking, you're being social with everyone there, and you'll come off as a really confident player even if you aren't that confident in that moment. For 2, there's communication. During tryouts, when you play, even regular matches, it's just, you have to be talking all the time with your teammates, letting them know where to move, where there's space, if they have pressure. So I think even off your first day of tryouts, if you communicate with your teammates, coaches are gonna pick that up immediately. A lot of people kind of shy away from communicating, and I think, like I said, it's really just a nervous thing, and this really goes hand in hand with speaking with the coaches. It's all about being sociable, looking like you're a confident player. If you communicate, you're confident in what you're saying, and you're confident that you're going to lead your teammates to do the right thing. And even if you make a mistake, it's okay. You'll be able to communicate like, oh, that's my bad, I made a mistake here. And people will just generally trust you more often, and your coaches will trust you more often. Then there's skill, and for skill, really, it's just something that you should be working on over the summer. Your technique, your physicality, your stamina, things like that. You have to be good enough to compete at a high level, because even if you do all these things right, if you don't show at least some flashes that there's things to come, or that you're a consistent player and you can play the game well at a high level, it's not going to matter what you do prior. The coaches are going to notice you, but they're going to think, oh yeah, he's good for the locker room, but on the pitch he's shaky, So that's one of those things you have to be aware of. You actually have to be genuinely good at the game. Number 3, pressure. With high school soccer, it's going to be a new environment, especially for freshmen or people who are playing high school soccer for the first time. And the way that I can tell you to handle pressure is play the game, not the occasion. And what I mean by that is, a lot of people treat a big game, like for example, when I got moved up to varsity to swing and make my debut in state, instead of me treating it like, oh, this is my big opportunity to show the coaches what I can do. Instead, I treated it more like this is just any other game. And I've been doing this for 4 years now. So I didn't treat it any different, and the pressure really felt lifted off my shoulders, and I could play comfortably. I defended pretty well. I didn't get much touches that game, but I was able to hold my own in a new environment because I played how I always wanted to play instead of trying to show the coaches something new. And finally, grades. I can't stress enough the importance of grades. It's not only a high school thing, it's a college thing, and it's a life thing as well, because it's forcing you to stay consistent. With grades, you want to stay in that 3.0 above range. Usually like a mid 3 to like a 4 is a great spot to be at, because it shows coaches that you stay far away from being ineligible. You maintain your grades, and it shows them that you want to maintain a high excellence. Being ineligible just makes you look awful as an athlete. It makes you look like you're not committed to the team, because even if school's not that important to you, if school's required for you to make a commitment with the team, it's something that you should take seriously. So I'm probably going to end it here. On the next video I make, I'm going to do a recap on the season, goals for the next upcoming season, and what I plan on doing in my off season to achieve that. But that's all for me, and now I'll catch y'all on episode 3 of my road to college.